Well, let's talk today a little bit about Barcelona. What is actually going on for this derby that is awaiting this weekend? What are some of the rumors and things that are heating up in some of the sides from Barcelona and Girona side? We'll give a little bit about some of the names that are starting to run about coming to Barcelona or interest about being in Barcelona. Let's give it a start right now. Muy buena, mi gente, aquí nos encontramos nuevamente en otro programa de fútbol con Mamá.
Dentro del área, golpea Petit, Zidane y gol. Ha marcado Zidane el 1-0 para Francia.
Welcome everybody, and here we go. This is Fútbol con Mamá, and yes, we did want to touch a little bit of basis about some of the news that are going with Barcelona. We know that Barcelona actually continues in the fight in the league. They actually went over and beat Atletico de Madrid 1-0 in this great match that it was expected for Barcelona to probably struggle after seeing what Barcelona has been coming up on these last couple games and how's the squad been reflecting and playing in a normal rhythm with them that has not been so successful. However, what has happened? Well, we saw the Marcos Llorente hit with the back of the boot, the cheek or the chin of Araujo. What did that cause? Well, Araujo felt a little bit of pain. He was actually offside completely. And they're talking about there is a facial fracture for him. The immediate recommendation from the doctor's team was for Araujo to actually go under surgery. However, the player does not want to go under surgery, especially knowing that the team is going to face Girona this weekend. It's going to be a tough play. So what they're expecting is that Araujo will be playing with a mask, a protection mask on his face this weekend. That is one of the things that is actually putting on Araujo. This showed courage. This showed determination. This shows also that he's committed 100% with Barcelona. This is great news for Barcelona fans. However, it is a concern for probably Uruguay national team and maybe for the player, because even though the fracture, by him determining to be able to play, we don't know how much this could be actually, going forward if he gets hit once again in the game through this fracture. But he's shown that he wants to play, and it looks like Xavi's going to trust him and have him starting the game this coming weekend against Girona. Now, another thing that is going on, because we know that against Girona, things are happening up, things are ramping up, things are getting a little heated. And we did see that a player from Girona, there's been rumors, always there's rumors when these type of games are coming outside. So one of the players from Girona, Alexa Garcia, and he comes in and he makes a comment in some of the interviews, how his interest and how much he admires Barcelona and how he dreams about probably playing for Barcelona one day, maybe in the near future. This is not sit right with Mitchell. We know that Mitchell is very passionate. Mitchell is a guy who's taking the squad to be currently right now in the league tied with Real Madrid in points in La Liga. This is something that he takes very serious. He knows how important this game is, and he thinks that it was very unfortunate that Alex comes in and makes a comment or a statement like this close to the match. So things ramped up a little bit more and they got a little bit heated up. So he comes in and he answers back saying that it's unfortunate that one of his players will make such a comment at this coming point. What he's saying in this point also is that he's expecting that when he was playing in the youth in Madrid, he was hoping that he saw that some of the times when he was playing for Rayo Vallecano, that people will actually support Real Madrid or Rayo goals. And he's saying that this is something that it was very unfortunate, something that he didn't like and appreciate as a player. And he's expecting the Girona fans are going to be 100% just respected and only Girona fans, and not being currently as they're perceived that they might be Girona fans that actually support Barcelona as well. So he wants to start creating and changing that habit and the mentality in the game. And I think Mitchell is bringing up the heat a little bit for this weekend in the game. A victory for Girona will put a big statement for Barcelona teams or Catalunya teams, whatever you want to call it in that point. But it's going to be an amazing game this weekend. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. Now, there's another Girona player that we've been listening that Barcelona has put in an eye on, and that is, we're talking about the young Brazilian Savino. We know Savino is playing for Girona, but he's currently on a loan. He was on a loan previous year on PSV. And it's because he belongs currently right now to Estac Troyes. This is actually a French team that is in the second division. Therefore, they know that this quality of player is not meant to be in the second division. So therefore, they've been recurring these last couple of years because they have not ascended to the first division in League One. They're coming inside right now and lending them to different teams. And they lend them to PSV this past year, and then this year to Girona. His market value has gone up from 5 millions to 20 millions currently right now in Girona. Now, one thing said, Barcelona is trying to talk with them. They're trying to find out if they can actually get him on a loan for next year. However, Girona is very interested to remain this young prospect right now because he is a prospect that, even though it's on the Virgin part, there's mention that Manchester City has part of the ownership of this player. And if that's true, it's not going to be an easy buy for Barcelona, especially when we know that Barcelona right now at this moment, it's not going through the healthiest economical part. Having this said, it now comes up to the next couple players that we're going to mention. And one of them is actually Nico Williams. And Nico Williams, there's been a lot of rumors that this young attacker from Athletic Bilbao has been in the eye of Barcelona, and Barcelona has been trying to attempt to talk a lot more to his management to see if they could be attractive enough to bring him to Barcelona, knowing that his contract was going to be due by next summer. It comes out to be that Athletic Bilbao just renewed the contract with Nico Williams. Now there's big communication coming in-house and from the management team of Nico Williams that Nico Williams is not going anywhere, that he wants to remain in Athletic Bilbao. However, there is big rumors that this might have been a strategy to be able to sell this player and at least give money to Athletic Bilbao. Now, we know that Barcelona was interested, but now that he's renewed, he costs money. And they're talking about that it's going to be something around 50 million that Athletic Bilbao might be expecting for Nico Williams. Therefore, this puts out of the race completely Barcelona of what we said before, even though there is strong rumors that has been going around that apparently Barcelona has been talking about considering to sell Robert Lewandowski in the next coming summer. And if this happens, we all know that his contract ascends in price every single year. Now, the first year he did amazing last season with Barcelona, one of the key players why Barcelona lift up La Liga championship. And we know that this year he's been struggling a little bit more. He hasn't been able to do his numbers. He hasn't been able to perform the way that he's expected. So therefore, this is bringing a big consideration of Barcelona to know if they want to really get rid of at this moment, and they think it's probably time to be able to sell Robert Lewandowski. Now, if this happens, maybe they have a salary cap buffer or things like that they can do involvement of players, but we will know exactly a little bit further down what is Barcelona's plan about bringing and acquiring new players. Now, we know that one player that might be in the radar or is coming pretty soon, we know is Vitor Roque, which is the young prospect of 18 years old from Brazil, who just came out, and there was rumors that apparently he was seen this last couple of weeks saying goodbye to all his colleagues. Does that mean that he's coming in January in the winter market? Who knows? Barcelona is starting to put on the press that it's a done deal and he's coming. And this might be great news for Barcelona to start adapting this young prospect to be able to come inside and start feeling about what is the rhythm and the style of playing of European football. So this is going to be something very positive. Now, we know that if this youngster comes around and joins the team and starts getting the feed and start looking good, and they're thinking about selling Robert Lewandowski, this might be a good opportunity for Vitor Roque to actually be part of the squad and evolve in a Barcelona team. Another name that is actually coming inside right now is Barcelona interest to remain with Joao Felix. We know that Joao Felix belongs to Atletico Madrid. We know right now that he celebrated the goal this last weekend, and he blew some kisses to the fans of Atletico Madrid as a mock. Therefore, we already understand he's not going to be able to go back to Atletico Madrid. Barcelona is trying to take this as an advantage and trying to make it as worthy for themselves to be able to convince Atletico Madrid to be able to consider to remain and sell Joao Felix. Now, the problem that we're having in this moment, and everything looks like peaches and cream for them because Joao Felix wants to remain in Barcelona. He likes Barcelona. He's having fun in Barcelona. He's already been outspoken talking about how much he doesn't feel comfortable with the system of Diego Simeone, how much right now that he feels comfortable with the system of Barcelona and Xavi. So therefore, that is a plus for Barcelona to be able to push and impulse the possibility of acquiring a player just like Joao Felix. Now, what comes in this moment is the economic part. This is going to be the big issue because Barcelona, apparently rumors are that they're trying to acquire Joao Felix, but they cannot afford to pay more than 25 million euros. This is something very complex because we already know that Atletico Madrid spent 125 million for Joao Felix. Now we know that Joao Felix is coming almost down the road to the last years of his contract. However, he still has a pending contract for multiple years for Atletico Madrid. We know that he cannot go back to play. We know that he was lent to Chelsea previously, and his value continued to deteriorate. Actually, his value in transfer market is worth 50 million euros. Now, I don't think possibly, and this is my opinion, I don't think Atletico Madrid is willing to go down to 25 million. We know already how difficult it will be for Barcelona to be able to acquire him for 50 million. But we know also that there's been English leagues or Premier League teams interested in Joao Felix also. One positive note for Atletico Madrid is that Joao Felix has started to put worth on his value because he's playing so well in Barcelona that it might be a positive thing. When they lend Joao Felix to an opponent direct opposition team, they were doing it for that same reason. They wanted him to feel comfortable. They wanted him to look good and then put more value on him and be able to sell him. That's the plan of Atletico Madrid because they know how difficult it is for him to be able to play with Diego Simeone. And having that said, it seems that that will be the big conflict about going next year back to Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico Madrid has the cards in his hand yet, because if the player doesn't want to go to the Premier League, for example, and he does not want to be sold to anybody else but Barcelona cannot meet the requirements of Atletico Madrid, they have two options: either to lend them again, which is something that is ideal for Barcelona, and I don't think is worth it for Atletico Madrid, or sell him for the price that he wants from Barcelona, which I think is going to be very difficult for Atletico Madrid to be able to swallow that, to sell this player at a very low value to actually a direct opponent, somebody who jeopardizes you and goes against you against the championship, who actually came up right now this weekend and beat you on a head-to-head and is costing you the opportunity to be fighting for that leading position. So I think that the last option that Atletico Madrid has is to sit him down for the whole year. Now, we know a young player like Joao Felix, who's just 24, is going to be completely miserable to be able to sit out and sit outside and remain on a squad for training, bad attitude, training segregated from everybody else. But we see clubs do this before. We saw how they did it to David Beckham. We saw how they've done this to Rabiot and PSG. We've seen it done numerous times to several big players, and it comes out to be that it will not be the exception for Joao Felix if Atletico Madrid does not agree to sell him for that same price. So it's going to be very interesting what's going to go on. I know the negotiations is going to start now in January with the winter market, but this is something that is going to go on until summer, and we'll find out later on, and we'll keep you guys informed. However, I hope you enjoyed a little bit about what's going on with Barcelona. This is a little bit of difference, giving you a little bit of more information, because I know a lot of people have been saying, Mama, you're going too much on your squad, but I need to know a little bit more about what's going on in the surroundings. So I wanted to keep you guys posted. I do have plan right now to talk about a couple youngsters that Barcelona is looking, because they do have a lefty lift about more than 5 players that they're looking for to probably come to La Masias, and there could be possible prospects to go inside and step up for the first team. But I will bring another show just talking a little bit about more like that, and I will keep you guys posted. Not only that, we do have Barcelona and Girona this weekend. It's going to be an interesting game. We have Real Madrid and Betis on the other side. So we got to see how that lead actually evolves. If Barcelona is able to cut points, shorten points right now to go inside and at least finish the first half of the season very close to the leadership, or falling back behind and allowing more points. So this is going to be very interesting this weekend. We know Atletico Madrid still has one less game than everybody else. So with this said, we'll see how this year comes up. After this weekend, we'll start figuring out who remains leader and who will go to the next phase and how much points are going to be for that point. So it's going to be very interesting. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys until next time with another show of Fútbol con Bambán. Ciao!